Hi and welcome back to another video of JPlay. I am Marcus, and before I get started for today's episode, huge shout out to my patrons and channel members. You guys are amazing. And also, in case you missed it, Sublime Dark finally launched on Kickstarter. So if you want to get the latest and greatest game designed by Tristan Hall, so go check it out. I may even put a link into the description of this video. And I think with that being said, we should be pretty much good to go. I can't really remember if I missed something or if there's something to correct. Yes, I think there was one clarification. That's in respect to the Sly Cunning here. I think I somewhat cheated myself here, because this one really says one hero gains one spirit and one of each types of power. For whatever reason, because of these forward slashes, I thought, okay, maybe it's really just one, but no, it's really what it says here. I should have gained one of each. I believe I was using this card twice, and it's really a little bit hard to completely correct that, but allow me this one minor correction in my favor. So I will simply get one of those each. I think it's still strong enough, because I believe I was not spending all of those anyway. I think for both of them I was using them for two different powers. So I think adding one is not fully rectifying my problem here, again cheating myself, but at least giving me some breath. So I think that is fair. We will have to shuffle this card back into the deck, because we went through our skill deck, that is. We are already at our final location here, the Great Hall of Kreel, and we successfully dealt with 3 of these plot cards here. I believe there are 2 more to go, and we still have to encounter our foe, who could show up any card now, basically. So yeah, let's definitely stay tuned. And I think with that being said, we should be pretty much good to go moving into our next delve phase. There aren't any delve effects as far as I can remember. So let's simply bring out a new shadow. Whatever this means, we have to reveal this card over here. This seems to be the Barbarian Chieftain. Okay, honor code, defeat, exile the card on top of your skill deck. Okay, we kind of know this one. While she is around, she will deal 1 point of damage to us. Right now we have 17 spirit, so I still think it's okay, but she is definitely not easily defeatable, because we need 8, 4 or 7 yeah, basically fight, sneak or influence, or the other way around respectively. So best chance is definitely with influence. We still get to draw a card. I had to reshuffle my skill deck here. So we have the Rapid Spin. It's a fast ability which we could play outside of our turn if you would play a multiplayer game. Apart from that, it's basically a simple skill. Lose 1 influence, power to deal 2 sneak damage to a location. Yeah, could definitely help us dealing with the Great Hall of Kreel, but with only 3, we are playing a solo game. We should be able to manage without that Rapid Spin. But okay, then it's time to move into our play phase, and I think the Barbarian Chieftain should be pretty much good to defeat. And if we are defeating her now, we are not losing a skill card, because our discard pile is currently empty. No, it's the card on top of your skill deck. Okay, this is stronger. Then it's basically Schrödinger's deck anyway, right? We have to deal with it. I'm relatively certain about that. In order to get rid of her, we need 4 influence. We have 8 here, which means we only have to bring it down by 1. So 1 plus 3 is 4. We are moving it down. Civilization style, that is. And this is clearly enough to get rid of her. But then her honor code kicks in, which means we have to exile the topmost card, which is the Witty Barb. And I think this is actually a card which I am okay losing. It's not the strongest card in the deck, but we have dealt with our Barbarian Chieftain here. Let's also tilt a card. We are already pretty good on fight, so let's do that for sneak, increasing it to 2. Then we could still play cards. One more we could. Now we can't use an action anymore, so we can't really scan the location up here, which I believe we can do. Yeah, the scout action here on the sneak one. But I would rather wanted to get rid of that Barbarian Chieftain here. And I think we don't have to discard down, because our hand limit is 6. We have 5 cards in our hand, so I think we will call it a round. So let's reset everything, and then we are moving into the next round again, starting with a delve phase. There's nothing to delve, which means we are revealing our next card, and this is the Wild Claw Warrior. I think we know this one here. When we reveal him, lose 1 fight power. Yes, indeed. So this goes down to a 3. I still think it's all right. He would make us lose 1 spirit point, also not the end of the world. We can relatively easily defeat him with our sneak ability down here. Yeah, I think that's easy. But let's draw our card first, which is now the 6th card in our hand. Yeah, I think it's really not a problem. We're still at our hand limit of 6, so we don't necessarily have to play a card this round. Again, we could scout, but as long as I'm able to defeat those guys, I believe I should do so. Again, he needs 4, we have 5, so we have to spend 1. Again, this goes down, and then yeah, we already have taken care of that Wild Claw Warrior. He doesn't give us anything, but for now he's simply out of here. I still can tilt something, so let's definitely do tilt our strength. We lost 1, so I think again, when the foe comes out, I'm relatively certain we need a lot of our abilities here powered up as much as we can. And again, I don't feel like wasting a card this round, so I think we can simply move into the next round. So we are ending this round here, again moving into the next threat phase, and again we have to reveal the next threat here. And if you're wondering now, hey, this seems easy, 1 enemy comes out, you defeat him, what's the point? This is the very first adventure of 5 or 6. I really keep forgetting that, and I have briefly went through, let's say, the other enemy or threat decks in there. This is really just it's really a cakewalk. So let's see what we get. And here we have another Deep Dwarf Trader. Again, I say that 10 times in a row. And yeah, he helps us basically during the Del phase to fight for 1 fight damage to a goblin threat. And there will be goblin threats coming out when our foe appears. So the adventure basically told us to set these goblin threats aside, so I'm relatively certain they will come in sooner or later. So the question now really is, do we want to get rid of him, which I think we can very easily do actually, but then again, he's dealing damage to us, right? I mean, what's the point? And if we would have now goblins out, I can't really have them around here, lying around and do damage to me. Even though we are okay health-wise or spirit-wise, I do think we want to get rid of these fellas. But let's draw our card first. So let's see what we get. That's the Shadow Slip. I think we had this one before. Yeah, deal 1 influence damage to 1 threat, and then yeah, we can that is not terrible, quite honestly. And we do have, but the 1 influence damage doesn't really help us. No, that's completely pointless card. The problem now really is we are now over our hand limit. So at the end of this round, we have to discard down, unless again we want to do something else. So maybe instead of fighting the Deep Dwarf Trader, and we can play, I don't know, what do we have? We had, I think, some defense card, exactly, the evasive maneuvers here, which we could easily play actually, and instead scan something. And I think that's what I'm going to do actually. So we are spending our sneak action. We are not whatever fighting, we are doing a scout action. It's 1 + 1, it's 2, so we can scan this or that card. This will come out next round anyway, so let's scan this card. And the cool thing about this one is, with our bow, we are actually able to deal with stuff that's in the shadow. Normally they are still there, you know that they're coming, but you typically can't really meddle with them. And yeah, guess what? We do have a plot, the Lost Dwarven Trove. So we can either fight it, so basically break it open, I guess, or we can sneak by it. That's, I think, using some kind of gear to open those up. Choose any one option. Repatriate, we can loot, and we can destroy, and then use an extra. These are really cool, and we get to heal if we are overcoming this plot. The thing now is we have taken our action, so we can't do this round, but relatively easily next round maybe. So this would be our 4th plot already, which is cool. So I think let's definitely play a card. We are playing the evasive maneuver, which means we are dodging the 1 damage here. Basically blocks 1 point worth of damage we are taking. The Deep Dwarf Trader only does 1 point of damage, so we will be good this round. Nice. We can still tilt, we can still play other cards, but I'm not sure what's the point actually. So let's I'm really not sure. I haven't checked all those cards, so I don't know what the foe actually is. I'm a little bit frustrated, or a little bit concerned is the better way, that we didn't tilt the sneak action more. But then again, I believe we do have enough cards in our hand that will bump our sneak power anyway. So I think let's tilt fight again. If something very powerful comes up, we should be able to deal with it. And then again, I don't think we are going to play any other cards, so we are ending our turn. The Deep Dwarf Trader will hit us. We have blocked, so this card is now also discarded. And then we are ending our round, so everything will be put back up. Again, we would have a Delphi effect coming from the Deep Dwarf Trader. Again, we don't have any goblin threats out, so we can directly deal with our next threat. So this one is still in the shadows. We are bringing out one new. We have to reveal whatever this is. And this is a standard threat, I believe, exactly. The Manor Servant. I think we had this one before. Reveal shield. Okay, it has a shield rating. Where do I have shield? I think this is this one here. So the next time this threat takes damage, oh, block all of that damage. Yeah, and discard this status instead. This truly sucks. And it says, oh no, on defeat, add one threat. Okay, wow. It has basically both abilities. And okay, this is now a tough one because it deals 2 points worth of damage. So I told you there are stronger enemies out there, and together we would be taking 3 points worth of damage, which is not nothing, I assume. Anyway, let's draw our card for this round. The Silent Approach. Yeah, that's cool. Add 3 sneak to a sneak action if played on a shadow. This card instead sneak 5. Oof. Okay. So this round might hurt a little bit. The question is, do I now want to get rid of the Deep Dwarf Trader? And I think we want to do that. Now there we can relatively easily defeat him. We'll get 1 spirit back. We are not, I think that's what we need to do. Unfortunately, we can't. Yes, we can actually. I think we can do something about that. So for our action, we are going to fight. We need 4 to get rid of it. It's already on 3. Because of our Starless Longbow, it gets a +1. So this is enough to get rid of the Deep Dwarf Trader here. Nicely done. We are getting 1 spirit back because he's somewhat our friend. That's at least how I like to think about that. Of course, we have to move everything down. But at least we are not losing any of our power here. Cool. Then I think we are going to play the Shadow Slip here, which says deal 1 influence damage to 1 threat, and that is cool. We don't need an action for that. We can simply deal 1 influence damage. So this is enough to get rid of the shield threat here. Nicely done. We don't want to spend whatever tons of damage on this card here, obviously. And then return 1 non-foe threat to the top of the threat deck face up. It retains any tokens and or statuses, but of course we are simply moving this back up on top. It will come back, but it might take us some time. We are not losing any health this round. That's nice. So this card was played, and then we can still tilt something. And I think this time I will definitely going to tilt the sneak action here, simply to power it up a little bit. So we have played a card. We could still play more cards if we want to, but then again, what's the point actually? Let's not do that. I think we are going to end our round. But okay, this means the blot is now in the threat area. It doesn't do anything harmful to us. The Manor Servant will be back. He will remain face up, so we know what's coming. So that's very cool. This Shadow Slip is a very cool ability. I really like that a lot, actually. And then we still have to draw a card. And here we have the Gallows Humor. Add 1 influence to an influence action. Yeah, that's okay, but nothing too powerful. I think it's time to deal with the Lost Dwarven Trove, and I think we will do that with our sneak skill, basically with that. In order to do that, we need 3 points. We have 4 here, so we have to spend 1, unless again, okay, maybe I do want to play a card instead, but I think they're all too powerful, actually. Yeah, they're way too powerful. Yeah, it's a little bit of a waste, but I would rather lose a card. No, we are simply dropping this down with a sneak action here, basically. So we are more or less, yeah, opening up the lost dwarven trove. And now we have to decide if we want to repatriate, loot, or destroy the one. I think the Night Raven sounds lootish to me, so I think we are going for the loot. First of all, we are getting one thing. I'm not sure about the timing here, actually. When do we get the spirit bag? When would we do that? Not sure if this really matters in this case, but again, we are going to read B008. In the heart of the dwarf's stolen trove, your inquisitive fingers unearth a concealed item glimmering with venerable resilience. The cool touch of the enchanted material against your skin reveals a coveted prize. Amongst the carefully guarded possessions, you emerge a newfound guardian carrying a storied treasure of the mountain realm. Okay, draw one bronze asset or gain one spirit. I think spirit-wise we are really okay. We are going to draw a bronze item. So let's see what we get. Last time we weren't really successful, and this sounds better. Elven boots. Okay, flip. Exhaust one thread. Okay, that is really nice. We can dodge a bullet here for sure. So I am allowed, I believe, to equip it right away. So we can attach it here. Really like that playmat works really, really well. So we can flip it, which means, again, flipping is something you can do pretty much once per adventure. There might be effects that will unflip those, but at least it really might help us during whatever one kind of thing. It's really one thread. This could even include the foe, because the foes do count as a normal threat. Otherwise, it really clearly says so, non-foe threat, for example. Really powerful. But okay, this was our fourth plot we have dealt with. Then we use an extra action if able. This is again something I can't really do. That's kind of a bummer. I was using the sneak now to overcome this one. Maybe I should have fought, then I could have. Yeah, I think that should have been our choice actually. Anyway, I have made my bed. I will not take it back. So this definitely was helpful. So we are not taking an extra action, because the only extra action would be to draw a card, and we are already over our hand limit. So let's simply tilt another card. Let's really tilt the fight once more. And I believe, yeah, we can't really hold on. During our end phase we have to discard a card, and I think we are going to discard the Gallows Humor, because again we are over our hand limit. Then again we are ending the round for good, moving into the next round. Nothing to do in the Del phase, so we will scan will reveal the threat card. It's a keep guard. Condemned. On a defeat, each hero discards one skill. I think we know this one too. Okay, this guy also deals 2 points worth of damage. I was for a second considering to deal with a mana servant while he's still in the shadows. I think still the defeat ability would kick in, but yeah, again, I don't really want to lose to spirit at the end of the round. Anyway, let's draw our card first, and this one, the Raven's Tenacity. Draw 2 skills, reveal one shadow. Okay, I think reveal one shadow really means flipping it over. Yeah, that's not terrible actually, but we have so many skill cards in our hand. Maybe not the best timing to play it this round, but I think we really want to play at least one skill card this round. That much is clear. And again, the idea is to get rid of the keep guard. So we are going to play the Hidden Advance on our skill action here. Add 3 sneak to a sneak action, which is now into together 5. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 3 is 5. If we would play it, oh no, each hero may, oh no, that's better. We can, that's a different one, but it's still enough. So that's 5. So we are using again our sneak action here to get rid of that card, and on a defeat each hero discards 1 skill. Again, that's not the worst thing in the world, and I think this might be our weakest card right now. So let's do that. We are discarding this one here, the Hasty Strike. This card was played. Let's tilt the influence action here, which means we are bringing this to 5. And then I believe we are actually able to play Raven's Tenacity. I still think we can do this actually here. Each hero may discard one skill to draw one skill. No, I think I'm not going to do that. I'm happy. So we are playing the Raven's Tenacity, draw 2 skills, reveal 1 shadow. So we are playing this, which means we are drawing 2 skills, reveal. Oh, these reveal. Okay, that's amazing actually. So we are drawing these 2 cards, and then from this card here, we are still allowed to reveal 1 shadow. So let's totally do this one here, and that's a red thing, a demon. We had one of those, the colony, immune to all skill effects whilst in the shadows. All skill effects only. Okay, we can still attack it, and I think we can even use our bow actually. So getting rid of those fellas shouldn't be that big of a deal. But I believe that's the end of the round. I will reset everything. Again, there are no delve effects. No, there are not. So let's move into the next threat phase. We are revealing this card, and that's, I think, the one we already know as well. Ironbeard Mercenary deals 1 damage to us. Each hero may only play 1 skill per round. Okay, that was this ongoing effect. I remember this one, but not sure if that's a big deal right now. The question now really is, yeah, what are we going? First of all, we are drawing a card, of course. Always getting ahead of myself. And we have the Sly Cunning Bag. We know this one. This is amazing. 1 hero gains 1 spirit and 1 of each. This time I will definitely play it correctly. Before we do anything, I will play this card, fast reveal 1 shadow, because we are over our hand limit anyway. Well, that's the only card I was able to play, but that is fine. So we are again revealing this card here, and that's the Goblin Chief. It's our foe. Maybe I shouldn't be too happy actually. The Goblin Chief shows up, but okay, it is what it is. He deals 2 points worth of damage, but we also get to heal. In this case, for those foes, we have to basically beat both of those abilities. So we have to actively fight him with our fight, and we have to sneak past him in any order. We can distribute those points of damage in any order we see fit. And on a reveal, he has the Horde ability, Shuffle Wormkin Goblins, and deal 1 to each hero's threat area. And the overkill is something, if we are overkilling it by at least 1 point, in this case we only need overkill 1. Let's say future foes might be stronger, might even need overkill 3, then we would be able to read something like the B69 in this case. But let's deal out the goblins. So finally we will see some goblins appearing, but yeah, we ran out of dwarves. So things are getting a little bit spicy. So let's shuffle the deck. Let's give it a cut. This card will come out. This is the Worm King Goblin. So not the end of the world. I really thought we would bring them all in or so. So it's basically 1 goblin per hero, that is, but still nasty enough. Deals 1 point of damage, reveals, lose 1 power. And I think in this case we get to choose. So I think I will choose this one here. And yeah, that's basically that. We are still very much in our play phase. We would be losing 2 spirits by them both, and we already know what's coming. So overall, a very nasty lineup here in the shadows. Because the situation got a little bit more precarious, I think I need to get rid of the Ironbeard Mercenary, because he stops me from playing more than 1 card each round. And yeah, I think that's what we need to do actually. So we are going to do a influence action, and I think we only need to spend 1 influence point on this one here, because it's basically 4. It was on 3. We are spending 1 power. This is enough to get rid of that fella. And I think now that he's out, his special ability no longer kicks in. So which means we can continue to play more cards. Question is this something that we need to do? But for sure, we are tilting this card here, the sneak. We have to do something, of course. Yeah, we have to shuffle everything around here respective. So I should have done that before, but again, doesn't really matter. Now that we can play more cards again, I think I am going to play the Shadow Slip here. Deal 1 influence damage to 1 threat and return 1 known foe threat to the top of the threat deck face up. It retains any token statuses. And because our Starless Longbow allows us to use abilities and actions against shadows. So I'm really now inclined sending this fella back to the top of the threat deck. Yes, I know it keeps us from drawing the final plot card, which could be the final card in this deck, by the way, but I still think it's worth it. So first of all, we are dealing 1 influence damage to it, and then it moves back to the top of the threat deck. I still think this might be worth it. I'm not going to play any more cards, so we are calling it around. This fella will deal 1 point of damage to us, so we are moving down to 18, and that was that. We are ending our turn here, so we are discarding all of our played skill cards and then moving into the next round, again not dealing with any more delve effects. So now we know that stuff is happening. Nothing new will be spawned into the threat area, and I think this definitely does help us, and we might be in a good shape actually dealing a good blow to the Goblin Chief, which I think we are going to do. But again, let's draw our skill card here. The Hurl Projectile, deal 1 fight damage to 1 threat. I don't think we need it right now, but it may matter at some point in time actually. Okay, that's cool. So what are we going to do? I think because we are able with our Starless Longbow to deal with stuff in the shadows, it's time to hit the Goblin Chief, and I think I also want to do the overkill. So ultimately I want to inflict 7 points worth of fight damage. 1 point automatically comes from the Starless Longbow, 3 points here, so we are already at 4 with those combined, which means we need 3 more. So this goes down to a 3, so really didn't spend an awful lot, but this means we have dealt 7 damage to the Goblin Chief. Unfortunately, it's not enough to kill it, because again, we also have to sneak past it. But yeah, it's a good, very, very solid start. Really sure about that. Nicely done, Night Raven. Let's tilt a card to prep ourselves for the next round to come. We are going for the sneak, which would now be enough. Yes, it is enough actually to get rid of the Goblin Chief. You'll now be able to take an extra turn. This would be amazing, but we are not on extra action. That is okay. That's cool. I think there's no point in playing any more cards right now, so we are simply stacking up 1 point of damage here from our friend, the Tonfang Assassin, bringing us down to 17 spirit. We are ending our round, so everything will be brought back. And now stuff could get a little bit ugly again, because we are bringing the next card into the threat area. But it's so cool that we can deal with the shadows. This is such a powerful ability. So this Starless Longbow, I really love her abilities, quite honestly. Okay, that is that. Nothing to delve actually. Immune to all skill. No, we know this one if they're no longer in the shadows. Let's draw our card. Again, we are over our hand limit, but this is only checked at the end of our turn. We have the Hidden Advance. Yeah, we know this one here. Yeah, this is extremely powerful, I think, but we will play this card here to get rid of the foe. Let's do that. So we are playing a card, add 3 sneak to a sneak action if played on a shadow. Right now our Goblin Chief is still in the shadows, adds sneak 5. This is huge. So in theory we can overkill twice, but that's not necessary. So we are taking our sneak action. Again, we are allowed to use actions in the shadows. So we have 3 plus 5, that's basically 8 without spending any of our power on this card. Okay, that is huge, and we need the power anyway to deal with our location sooner or later. So this is now basically 8 points worth of sneak damage on the Goblin Chief. He's dead, so he has 6 or 8 of those, and he's overkilled. That much is clear, which means we get to read 96. Cool. Through the ominous tapestry of the manor's trials, where each shadow conceals a new peril, you devise your path to the lair of the Goblin Chief. The calamitous clash echoes through the dim corridors, your unassailable willpower prevailing over the malign chief. You stand to catch your breath in the vanquished goblin stronghold, the subdued ring of danger yielding to triumph, paving the way for your excursion beyond. Draw 2 pause asset and keep 1, discard the other. That is so amazing. So let's draw the 2 cards. That's the iron leggings. Okay. Oh, that's also for the legs. Okay, that's a little bit disappointing. But yeah, the leather vest is pretty cool. It gives us a +1 on our spirit, which means we can go beyond our starting value of 20 here. So that's 21. Yes, we will totally hold on to this. I think it goes in here. I'm not sure if we get to heal right now, like in other RPGs. I will have to check, but again, it doesn't really matter too much. That was really a worthwhile find. This one is discarded. I will simply move it to the bottom of the deck. And that's the story of the Goblin Chief. So looking at our Night Raven here, I really do feel we have increased the likelihood of making it into the next adventure. Actually, I think I really like how you are, let's say, somewhat leveling up your character here. I couldn't really find if we would gain the +1 here right now. That's why I'm not changing it. Keep me honest here. And I think we are still going to what are we going to do? We are still going to tilt something, and here I'm not sure what we are going to tilt. Let's go with a fight, I believe. Yeah, I think that's the better deal. Okay, cool. I think I'm ending my play phase, so we are taking 2 points of damage, bringing us down to 15. I think we were never that low. I'm not sure. Yeah, we still have 2 heal cards in our hand. Let's reset everything and moving into the next round. So everything will slide over. So we are bringing out a new card. Again, this could now be our final plot. So again, we need to solve 1 more plot and fully explore the Great Hall of Kreel. Then we would actually win the game. Huh. Let's draw our card. Ah, that's the cool one. Yeah. The Raven's Tenacity. Draw 2 skills, reveal. I mean, these reveal effects, these are extremely important actually. But I do think, yeah, we have to do some damage now. Let's get rid of the Torn Fang Assassin here with a influence action, right? It's 3. We don't need to spend any power. That is cool. We are simply getting rid of him. Unfortunately, he's not giving us anything, but he's out. He's not dealing any more damage to us. Cool. Then let's tilt the sneak action here, powering it up. And because I don't want to lose any more cards, I will play the hurl projectile here. Deal 1 fight damage to a threat, which is a red thing. So this card is played. So we are now within our hand limit. Then we are going to play the Sly Cunning. 1 hero, that's me, gains 1 spirit. So we are going back up to 16. And we are 1 of each power. So again, this time I will play it correctly. Yeah, this really is a very, very strong card, quite honestly. And then let's play Raven's Tenacity again, which allows us to draw 2 more skills. But now we can hold on to this. Oh, we're already through our skill deck here again. But keep in mind, the Master Thief's Gambit here is exiled from this adventure. We don't get to play it again, but we can reveal 1 shadow. Again, let's go for the most expensive one, and that's the Barbarian Chieftain. Okay, we know this one. Let's end the play phase, which means the red thing is kicking us. So we are going back down to 15, but I still think this was okay. We are bringing back everything. And then the Manor Servant will finally be back in our threat area. So ultimately, we have to deal with that fella one way or the other because he's doing 2 points worth of damage. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's draw our card. I had to reshuffle again, and here we have the the Shadow Slip is back. We can send the Manor Servant right back, but I do think it's really time to get rid of this sucker once and for all. But in theory, we can also say, I think we can do both actually. So let's play a card. We are doing the deal 1 influence damage to 1 threat, which is the Manor Servant. And then we are bringing this card back on top of the threat deck. It keeps the tokens, so still wounded. Nice. So we have played this card, and now we are playing the influence action. So in order to do it, we need 3 more points. We have 1 here, so we have to spend 2 from our power dice. This guy is dead. The problem is it says add 1 threat on defeat, which means this fella now moves in here. Everything else will slide over, but I think we really do have to get rid of those guys. Let's bring... Are you kidding me? The Manor Servant is right back, and yeah, we know the drill. It comes with a shield. It has the defeat ability. These guys are truly nasty. I officially hate them. But okay, let's still play our Sly Cunning, which means we are regaining 1 damage point, going back to 16. That's really not nice. And we are getting 1 power each. Right. Is there a way somehow to get rid of the shield? And looking at our card, I don't think there is. We all add sneak and fight damage, but it's only not fight damage, it's fight points to an action, but we already have taken our action this round. So now really having one of these fast actions, so something like the Witty Barb now, which simply inflicts 1 wound, would be perfect for those shields, but we don't have those. Okay, which also means we can't tilt anything. Wow, this is truly bad actually. What's going on? Yeah, things are really getting nasty now. Okay, so I think I have to end my... okay, let's use our Elven Boots now actually. So we are flipping those to exhaust 1 threat. Yeah, let's do that, because otherwise we would be taking 2 more hits. We don't want that. Okay, this was still worth it. Nicely done. So we are not taking any more damage, so we can directly jump into the next round of the game. But I think this guy is now unexhausting, basically during his turn or so, or maybe this also, I think this also happens during the end phase. And then yeah, let's move into the next round. So let's bring the Barbarian Chieftain back into the threat area. We are bringing out a new shadow card here. The red thing I'm really least concerned about. Let's see what our card draw is. Yeah, this is not terrible. Draw 2 skills, reveal 1 shadow. I think this is pretty okay actually. But I was really hoping for a small card that gives damage basically too, but we can still use the Raven's Tenacity to choose just that. That's one reason why we may want to do that. So yeah, maybe let's deal with the Barbarian Chieftain first. We can relatively easily bribe her, I believe. The question is, I don't really know. Let's simply bribe her. So we are spending all the power on this die. We don't have any cards that gives us influence damage, so this die is gone, but this is enough to get rid of her. So we are basically, yeah, getting rid of 1 potential damage, but we have to exile the card on top of your skill deck. Scout Ahead. This is an amazing card, but it's out of here. Okay, I can no longer scout. It is what it is. Again, we are playing Raven's Tenacity, which allows us to draw 2 cards. Okay, Sly Cunning is back, and add 1 influence to an now influence action. Now we get it. Oh, this is so bad. We don't get damage. Oh gosh, I want to get rid of that shield. How difficult can this be? And again, we can't really use our tilt. Oh, I'm not really, but we still get to reveal a card. Let's do that. And again, we are going for the most expensive one. That's the Refuse Beast. Okay, exile the topmost skill. That's in the discard pile. That's the other one. Exactly. Because I don't want to discard my card at the end of the round, I am going to play this card here, the Rapid Sprint, which we can't do. I need to read. Lose 1 influence power to deal 2 sneak damage. No, we are not going to play the Rapid Sprint. Yeah, we have the +1 influence, but again, it goes to an influence action. It's not an influence power. Yeah, I think that's it. That's really it. Oh, this is so lame. We can't tilt. We have to end our play phase. So we get 2 hits from our friend, the Manor Servant. We have to discard down to 6 cards. And oof, yeah, I'm really not sure. We have a lot of sneak. No, I think we are getting rid of this card here. Actually, that's not too bad. And then, yeah, we are resetting everything, moving into the next round. Let's reveal the next shadow that slid in, and oh, that's an obstacle. Okay, this is a threat, an obstacle. It is really not a plot, right? No, it's a mana servant. I think this is not a plot. And if we defeat it, we draw 2 skill cards and we get to heal 2. Okay, that's an amazing one, actually. Anyway, let's draw a card, and this is the one we need. Okay, this is the one we need. Ah, yeah, we have to play this card now, actually. Okay, again, we know the Shadow Slip, right? Deal 1 influence damage to 1 threat. Amazing. This means the shield is gone, so we can start to hit it and then return 1 non-foe threat to the top of the threat deck. This is a threat. I think, again, it doesn't say you may. That's why let's simply do that, but we are now in a good position to take care of the Mana Servant, and I think we will do that with our fighting value. So let's do a fight action here. I think I will also play this card, add 1 fight to a fight action. So we have 1, 2, 5. We need 2 more to get rid of the Mana Servant, and here says add 1 threat. Okay, it is what it is, but for now he is out, so these suckers will now move in, everything else will slide over, speeding up a game a little bit, which I don't think is too bad. Of course, we still have to exhaust it. I will have to reset it. Let's not forget that. And now we can at least also tilt a card. That is something. So before we do anything else, let's simply do that. So we're adding 1 power to our influence action. Then I think we can safely end the play phase. So we are taking 1 point of damage, bringing us down to 13. We still have 1 heal card in our hand, so we might be actually okay. Let's reset everything here. Let's move into the next Del phase. Nothing to do there, so we can move into the threat phase. So we are bringing out, we are moving out of cards actually, which ultimately could mean we are shuffling in the Lord's Vengeance into the threat deck. Then things really get ugly. We don't have to reveal anyone else, only the Refuse Beast, but we know this one. Yeah, we have to discard a card, or yeah, I think overall we can live with what's out there. Let's draw a card, and the Silent Approach. Yeah, we know this one. It's a very powerful card. Actually, she's a very sneaky fella, actually. And honestly, I do think about getting rid of the Refuse Beast, because the card that we would be exiling is a card I'm okay with losing. So let's rather do that, and we only need 2 damage in order to get rid of it with the Starless Longbow. And basically 1 action here, the 1 minimum power point. This is enough to get rid of this fella here. So again, we have to exile the Wild Haymaker out of the game for good. We will tilt the influence action again. Are we going to play a card? I don't think so, actually. No, let's not do that. So again, we are taking 1 point of damage from the red thing. So we are now at 12, and yeah, that's basically it. Let's do that. We are okay. That's the final card we are bringing out. This card is revealed, and that's a Deep Dwarf Trader, but again, we don't have any goblins out. But this fella is going to heal us, which isn't terrible. It's more or less nullifying, if we would get rid of him this round, the damage from the red thing. So maybe something worth considering. But of course, let's draw the card first. The Hurl Projectile. Again, that's a card that helps us with any shields and whatnot. So I think it's time to, yeah, get rid of the Deep Dwarf Trader. We do that with a sneak action. So it's 3 + 2. So we're moving this down to 4. We're tapping it. This fella is out of here. Therefore, we are regaining 1 damage, 1 spirit, back at 13. Let's also tilt this power here. Now I'm really thinking about, because we have to discard, now we are using the Rapid Sprint, which again says lose 1 influence power to deal 2 sneak damage to a location, which is not quite enough to overcome, but we have to find the final plot anyway before we do. But it's a good preparational move. Nothing else to do. I could play the damage to this fella, but again, it doesn't kill it. So what's the point? So we are taking 1 point of damage, bringing us down to 12 again. Let's reset and then move into the next round. So let's see what this one is. Oh, that's the final plot. Okay, the portcullis. Fight 4, sneak 5, defeat, and then we choose an option to lift with a fight. We can sneak with a 4. I think we are going with a sneak, which means we will defeat it with this one, and then we still have the 4. So not a problem at all. But let's draw our card first. So I think we are close. The hasty strike to deal 2. Oh, that is nice. Yes, we will totally play this card actually right now. Lose 1 spirit to deal 2 fight damage to 1 threat. So we are going down to 11, but this is totally enough to get rid of the red thing here. Out of here. Cool stuff. This was not an action. And now for our action, we are going to defeat this fella. So we need to spend, so we have 1 from our bow, 2, we need to spend 2 more points here, and then we are going to unlock, because we still have, I think we only need to have it, or do we have to spend it? Let me check that. And no, indeed, it's only present power in this case. We have more, we have 7 present power in our sneak ability, which means we are unlocking the portcullis reading 20. With the portcullis padlock in hand, you deftly pick the lock. The formidable gate yields to your touch. Behind the barrier, a nervous human servant fidgets, eyes starting with a mixture of fear and gratitude. I'm free. Thank you, kind hero. He grins nervously through broken teeth, I was going to say. A cruel reminder of his master's tyranny. Me, Derek, happy to help you fella. As a token of his thanks and means of his newfound freedom, Derek reveals a shortcut through the looming dimness of the manor. But as footsteps approach from the shadows, his terror takes hold and he flees into the dark paths. Okay, deal 3 sneak damage to the active location or gain 3 sneak power. No, we are absolutely adding 3 sneak power here, which means we have dealt with our 5th plot. We have taken care of the foe, the Goblin Chief. I believe again I have forgotten to exhaust the power. Let's simply do a tilt action here on this one here. I think it doesn't really matter. We are not taking any more damage. We're moving into the next round of the game. Nothing to do in the delve phase, but we will look into the explore location. We have definitely more than enough sneak. It's the final location. Again, we have taken care of all the other requirements, which means we were successful. We have won the game. So we are reading 85. Through the towering arches of the great hall, worn stones hold tales of ages past. Your weary steps, a testament to the road endured, lead you to the threshold of the unknown. Beyond lies the promise of destiny, and as the reverberations of your footsteps fade, the gloom of the hall yields to the beckoning call of uncharted realms and adventuring spirit. Having emerged safely from the great hall where the pained howls of the Goblin Chief linger, still your path now diverges into 3 intriguing options with the malevolent Kreel Manor. Oh, cool. The Grand Keep of Malistra whispers curious riddles. Its cryptic halls guarded by the undead warriors who have stood sentinel for centuries. The lure of uncovering arcane relics and the potential to harness their mystical power propels you toward this enigmatic sanctum, seeking to unravel the riddles of the goddess of darkness. The Epicurean banqueting hall, the culinary heart of the Lord's forces, presents a strategic window. By infiltrating this space, you hope to disrupt the supply chain, creating chaos amongst the enemy ranks and weakening their resolve before the impending conflict. The haunted ballroom is rumored to be a nexus of sublime energies, occasionally visited by ghostly oracles. Intrigued by the possibility of receiving cryptic guidance, you are drawn to the ballroom, seeking insights that might illuminate the path ahead in the treacherous excursion through Kreel Manor. Congratulations on winning the first adventure. Remember to upgrade 2 skills. Oh, cool. Yeah, that is nice. We have 2 skills which we get to update. Even tells you where to read this. Now that you understand skills, you may replace any of your hero skills with hero skills from the box. Just this once. Cool. 3 paths now lie ahead to explore. For the Grand Keep of Malistra, set up adventure 2A, 2B or 2C. This is cool. So we already have some branching here. So again, testament to the replayability of a campaign game. Really nicely done. But again, for today, I will end my playthrough and my adventures through Kreel Manor. Definitely do let me know if you want me to continue. Also, in this case, let me know which one of those paths to take, and then I will consider another adventure here at Kreel Manor. In the meantime, I will definitely cover some other stuff, mainly stuff I brought from Essen. In summary, the rules give you a game end thing. Complete each adventure in the campaign by following these steps. Book of Fables, if victorious, we just did that. Skill upgrades ×2. So I really have to see. So we really have a huge deck of cards. No, that was the story. This deck of cards which we can upgrade to. I think we may be even able to see the next story exactly, because it was from NR1, so the story 2, which we are shuffling into the second adventure. That is, we will restore our spirit. It goes up to 21 because we were successful finding this armor, reset cards and power dice, and then yeah, moving on into the next adventure. But then again, this is something for the next video to come. Again, do let me know if you're interested in more adventures in Kreel Manor here, and I will certainly consider that. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and until then, bye bye.